I'm curious about what is going to occur on planet Earth that's going to facilitate the second wave of ascension that you have stated is to occur in 2022. There is a wave coming, as we have mentioned, and those that will be riding the wave are those who listen, who hear, and are available for truth. These people will be of every race, creed, religion, and tongue. The second wave will be very noticeable as it includes the masses. You ask what facilitates this, and we ask that you listen openly. No one will be untouched. Everything that has been occurring since the first wave is facilitating those ready to get on the second wave. You will notice there is much unrest within everyone. I don't know how to say all this next piece. It feels so big. There have been deaths and will continue to be deaths. This is one of the biggest ways that facilitates people to open their hearts to greater. It releases control within a person and takes them to a deep, vulnerable, open-hearted place and facilitates a questioning of everything. There will continue to be deaths that occur in families in order to facilitate the maximum amount of people to ride the wave. These people are not randomly chosen, but divinely chosen, that will facilitate the biggest amount of change. If you can free yourself from the judgment of whether it's a COVID death or a vaccine death or a death as a result of something outside of your control, and recognize the divine hand playing out, your heart will be more free to rest. Everything that your current government systems are doing are also facilitating this ascension. And if you can perceive it as the gift that it is, you will ride the wave more gently. Is it helpful to interact with the incorporated United States government? Or is it better to put our focus on sustainable living? Or is there another option? Do we return back to the original republic that was created? Or what else can you show me about all of this? If you knew how powerless your perceived governments were, you would take very little notice. We understand your concern and this inquiry, and we'll do our best to assist a deeper understanding of what will serve. This challenge of perceived controlling of government will be approached in many different ways. Ultimately, know that the slate will be wiped clean, that your authority will be given back to you as you claim it. The ways this will happen will cause a complete destruction of governments as you know it. There are those that have been set up to directly confront the system, and this is righteous. There are those that have risen above, beyond might be a better word, the need for any action. And these people help in the energetic realm. There are those that work politically. There are those that work with the people. And there are those that sit by on the sidelines and observe. What we would say to you is, this destruction of the establishment of governments is being taken down and will continue to be taken down because it cannot withstand the frequency that is being currently projected into your world. Those who have already ascended with the first level of ascension are those holding the greatest frequency for this change to occur on planet Earth, for the dissolving of your government systems, as well as many other systems. They're the ones that are holding the greatest frequency for the transformation of mankind. There are others beyond this world, beyond this realm, also holding a frequency, assisting those in physical form that have already ascended with a greater frequency for planet Earth. You could look at it as each person that already rode the wave of ascension have 10 angels backing them up, supporting the greater frequency to come onto planet Earth. It doesn't really matter at what level you play the game, but the game is ending soon and will happen regardless. For a short time, a very short time, it will look as if they are winning. But again, their claims are so flimsy and backed by nothing. And it is inevitable that they shall fail. Some fear that this is a larger occurrence of what happened during the era of the Nazi movement. And we would say to you, this is nothing like that. The people were not ready for ascension at that time. They were ready for an awakening of sorts, but not for a full ascension. In this day that you are currently dwelling, you have the energies of planet Earth rising, as well as her people. And while it looks as if there is a lot of resistance to this movement in the hearts and souls of many. There's a different story being told. Is there another question around all of this, Linda, you'd like to ask?
During this time, this short time of seeming power of the existing government, is it best to just be still and know that these things too shall pass, rather than react in any way?
Mm-hmm. It is your job to respond from the dictates of your own heart. This will look many different ways at all different times. It matters not. What is truly important is that you listen and follow to the best of your ability, and not to compare or judge another's choices or actions, for their path is theirs and unique unto them. Okay, so is there anything else that wants to be shared with us today that can give us some insight as to what may or may not occur, or what may occur on planet Earth before the end of 2022? Much of what people perceive and have been shown that will happen. It's that it will be on a much smaller scale than what they fear. For example, there will be death, but it won't be to the scale everybody fears. There will be imprisonments, but not to the scale everybody fears, nor the length of time everybody fears. There will be destruction, but not to the level everybody fears. It will occur in the locations and places that people fear it the most, that people fear that reality the most, but will be overcome and risen above quickly. For the hearts of the people truly desire unity and peace, and this will come quickly as they surrender their hearts and choose to listen and follow divine inspiration. What can we anticipate occurring after the second wave of ascension? Can you show us anything about that? There will be a grand gathering of people focused on cleanup as well as the thriving of mankind. There are already systems, technologies, and I can't say that word. Methodologies that are developed and being developed currently that will come into play and assist in this process. There will be a consciousness of supporting each other rather than the tearing each other down that is prevalent today. There will be a collecting of information and a sharing of information, the likes of which you have never seen before. The bulk of awakening or ascension occurs in this second wave. Beyond that, there is a unification that occurs, mass learning that occurs, and mass healing that occurs. Okay, so the question is there any need to pay attention to news of any kind? Or do we simply tap into inspired action on a daily basis? Ultimately, inspired action is the thing that will support you the greatest. However, if you are in tune with inspiration, you can watch or be tuned into any news source, and you will feel or know or be inspired to the accuracy of it. Okay, what is inspired action? How do we know that we are being inspired, and where does that inspiration come from? Man makes everything hard. If it uplifts you, if it uplifts others, if the energy is light, airy, uplifting, enjoyable, it's of divine source, and you can follow it, knowing you will be guided. If the action leaves you feeling depressed, discouraged, downtrodden, it's not of divine will. You forget that you are co-creators with the divine. And the divine wants you to have beautiful and great things in your life. This is and never has been about only what divine wants, but rather a dance, a co-creation of both the physical and the spiritual, of both divine and human. In this way, you move forward in grace and beauty, creating, learning, and manifesting the most ideal existence.